What's up, DFS fans? Jack here from the TDS Nation. Here to talk some chalk. Let's go ahead. Start with Ryan. Matt Ryan, I think he's gonna go ahead and be the top owned quarterback this week. I think like people like to point chase. Granted, he keeps throwing over 300 yards, so not really bad play. I just prefer people like the next guy, Lamar Jackson, who uses his legs and throws. Obviously, the ceiling's higher. Obviously, the floor is there with the legs. Unlike Matt Ryan, who does not run, he has to throw. So, if something would happen to where he, for whatever reason, gets shut down, I prefer guys with legs. Again, keeping with the running quarterback theme, Josh Allen, 6,500. I would say this guy's floor is pretty safe for about 15 points. This probably gonna be my quarterback for the week. Next man up, Kyler Murray. I have him throwing over 100 yards this week against the Giants. This is a good play. 6,700 is a little pricey. I'd rather go with Josh Allen or somebody else if you're gonna pay up. And last but not least, or maybe he is least, if I could spell it right. Jacoby Brissett. I think he's going to be forced to throw here going against Houston. He doesn't run that much, but he can run. But I just think at 5,600, the amount of times he's going to have to throw, pretty good bet there. But we'll stay with Allen. Jumping over to running back, Leonard Fournette, which I think is going to be the highest owned. I think he should be the highest owned running back. The guy's an absolute workhorse. Doesn't always give you what you want out of his carries, but he gets 20 to 25 carries. So volume, volume, volume. That's what I want. Next guy, Cook. Detroit defense actually hasn't been that bad for the passing, but they're a little weak against the run. So people looking to chase the performance they had in the air last week, I think you might want to look towards Cook instead of the passing game for that. Chris Carson, there's nobody else in the backfield. He's had some fumble problems, but they just keep giving him the ball. He still finds himself on the field. Rashard Penny's not taking anything away from this guy. I don't even think Rashard Penny's going to play. So I don't even know who the third string running back is. But Chris Carson, I really like that play. Most likely will make my lineup. Barkley, I have to throw this guy in because he's a fucking beast. But coming back from the injury, I'm not sure if they really want to push him that hard. So while I do think he will be rather high owned, I don't think I'm going to lean towards this play. But talking chalk here, I think Barkley's going to be up there in ownership. Next guy up, Freeman. Like I said again, people like to point chase. I don't really want to go here. I'd rather go with Ridley, which I will mention in a little bit. Coleman, I think, will be owned. I actually had him last week when he was 4,400, when everyone was trying to chase Brown and other cheap running backs. I went with Coleman, which worked out for me. Cashed easy. A couple guys I just want to mention that are cash viable but won't be that high owned. Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs should see plenty of carries against the Packers defense that likes to be soft against the run and hard against the pass. It's like a bend but don't break defense. Henderson, I think he's going to be somewhat popular at 3,500. Why wouldn't he? I don't really like this play. Brown's out. Gurley's still there, so I'm not really feeling that one. And another one I just want to throw out there, Latavius Murray. This is away and the Bears defense. So if Kamara is out, I think Murray is in play, but it is risky there. We're going to jump over to wide receiver. And my cover boy, be good if I clicked on the wide receiver. My cover boy, T.Y. Hilton. Now, I do have questions here because when he has blown up Houston, it was not Brissett throwing to him. But nonetheless, obviously he finds his way through the coverage there. So he will be the highest owned wide receiver, possibly the highest owned player, but I think Fournette tops him at highest owned. Next, Cooper Kupp. After a disappointing week last week, hopefully it brings his ownership down. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I still think he's going to be highly owned. Not as high as T.Y. Hilton, but just under. Great matchup there. Next, Fitzgerald. This guy's just very consistent. I mean, old man. There's no one else that really Murray focuses on other than Fitzgerald. There are some plays where other people get the ball, but I think Fitzgerald is a consistent target there for him. Back to Atlanta, like I said, Calvin Ridley with Peterson back. I think he's going to cover Julio. Granted, Julio is Julio, but I really like Ridley. I think he will be high owned. Jumping over to the guy that I think is going to be paired up with my QB, John Brown. While I do think he will be high owned, I do have some concern here. The game script. This guy runs deep routes. If they're up, I don't know if they will continue to run deep route. But if he does find himself behind the defense, I guarantee you Josh Allen will chunk it to him. He doesn't care. Josh Allen will throw it deep. He likes to throw deep. John Brown runs deep. I think it's a good play, but I think you can be capped at a certain amount of points that he can get due to them getting up, maybe running with Gore, the game script. Who knows? Maybe the Dolphins can stay in it, but it doesn't look good there. And Boyd, this guy's consistently high owned. I think he will be high owned again. Keep in mind this could change from today to tomorrow to Saturday. Of course, anything can happen, but I still think he's a pretty decent play. 5,600. He's not too expensive. Let's leave a couple guys here on the board that I was talking about. Jump to tight ends. Hunter Henry, where is he? This guy's, he's really good. And it's obvious they like throwing to him. Now, coming back from the injury, he looked great. He came back early from the injury. I don't think I have any concerns as far as snap counts there. 4,000. Ingram, obviously, in the best spot, but he's 6,500. So I think people are looking to be saving money. You can also go with Andrews here. More than likely, where I'm leaning Andrews, although I do admit Ingram is in the best spot, but to save a little money, Ingram's. Hooper, Andrews to save a little money. Hooper, he's just been balling out. I don't think this is point chasing here in this game. I think he can get his targets. He can get his points for you. Darren Waller, 4,700 is the next guy. They just throw to him. They just sign him to the game of an extension. They consistently keep throwing him the ball. I think he's a safe zone for Carr. He's always looking for him, I guess checking down or just to get it out fast. The last guy I want to talk about, let me just type it in because scroll down a bit. Fells, not the sexiest play, but 3,100 will save you some cap space. One last tight end that I do want to mention, and I know this is a chalk cash video, but Dawson Knox against the Dolphins. This guy is crazy in air yards. If you don't have a tight end, or if you need a tight end in season long, I highly recommend this guy for later in the season. His snap counts are building up higher and higher, so I think he can be a play there later on the season. Maybe not this week. I just wanted to mention him though. Defenses, Bills obviously will be highly popular. I prefer the 49ers this week, just to save $200. Who knows where I could use it. I haven't gone through lineup construction yet. I think the Colts, where are they? I think the Colts will also, for $2,000, a high passing game. I think there will be some mistakes made, possibly interceptions, maybe Watson scrambling, loses the ball. Who knows? Turnover there just to get you some points. And 2,000, you get some cap space there. The Bears defense against New Orleans will probably be pretty popular as well. The ones I mentioned earlier, Lions, they're not too bad. They can give up against the run, but not so much against the pass. So I think if the Vikings are thinking about going into the game again, same mentality with the passing, I think it could hurt at a point, and the Lions could possibly get an interception or two. And the last defense I want to talk about, Jaguars against the Bengals. Andy Dalton. Enough said. So that's my talk chalk for the week. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment. See you next week.